Right. So what got you interested in coaching?
So I've been playing Overwatch since Overwatch 2 came
Mm-hmm.
out, and yeah, I really like the game and been just playing for a while. Watching like OWCS as well, so like competitive Overwatch. So
Yep.
um, just pretty much want to get better at the game.
Okay. Okay.
Mm, yeah.
Sure. Now I'm looking here. You have hit scan and flex support, hit hero pool.
hmm
What has that looked like, I guess, in the last 2 years? Have you pivoted around? Has it been mostly those heroes? Have you tried a lot of different heroes and just settled on those because you enjoyed those the most, or what?
Yeah. So I've been playing like a whole bunch of different heroes, but I feel like I'm the most comfortable on those ones. Like
Sure.
I play quick play a fair bit, so like
Mm-hmm.
I obviously like have been trying different heroes and like feel comfortable and some other ones like Echo or like uh Tracer I've been getting into, but like I feel most comfortable on hit scan and like support, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Why do you think is it those characters? Is it just the aiming aspect that makes it interesting?
Yeah, I'd say so. Especially because I've like come from other FPS games as well.
Ah,
Like I've
makes sense.
played Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty, I played
Mm-hmm.
Apex, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just a whole bunch of games, yeah.
Okay. So, what got you to stick with Overwatch this long? What about the game is unique? I mean, you obviously have quite the repertoire of full background of playing a lot of different first-person shooters, and yet you're getting
Mhm.
coaching for Overwatch. So, what about it is made it so appealing?
I just feel like it's so different. There's not no other game like it, and with like other games, I kind of got a bit burnt out on some of them.
Sure.
And yeah, there's
What games
yeah
did you get burned out on?
Siege because that
Sure.
that one's quite repetitive. And
Okay.
other games I've pretty much played like casually, but Siege is the only one I've really played like competitively. Just like played ranked. Um,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Um, you've been playing Overwatch for a little while, but you seem to have hit a roadblock, and I guess that's why you're here, right?
Mhm.
And you want to improve knowledge and mentality in game involving game sense in both DPS and support.
Yeah.
Now, you're trying to improve at two roles at the same time that has relatively high demands. Now, the good news is that
Yeah.
most of Overwatch is not hero specific outside of how you take duels, really.
Mm.
There are principles that carry really across the entire game, especially within the role that you're playing, which I think is probably why you like those heroes. Now, you're playing Overwatch inconsistently, at least the time of the form, about 2 times per week in 2 hour sessions. Is that approximately accurate as of recently?
It kind of depends because sometimes I play like other games with like my friends. Generally with Overwatch I play solo queue because
Mm-hmm.
they all either quit or they just don't play comp.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it just depends when I've got time. If I like till I get off.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it just depends how I'm feeling and how many games I want to play. Um,
Okay.
Also recently I've got into studying. Like I'm studying IT at the moment, so two
Yeah.
days a week I'm studying, and then I've got work like 2 or 3 days
Of
as well. Yeah.
course. Okay. So you're pretty busy, and that's like the limitations that you have. Okay.
hmm
So where are you at rank wise right now?
So I've just been doing my placements for this last patch,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like silver. Well, I haven't finished my DPS ones, but I was silver on DPS, and then gold
Okay.
3 on support.
So
Yeah.
where did you instead of the placements because those will fluctuate, you know? Where did you finish last season on DPS and support?
Um, Pretty sure in that range as well. I'm pretty sure I was like
High
gold
silver
2.
and then mid low gold.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Or maybe high gold. Okay, sounds good. So I'm gonna keep it real with you. I
Mm.
think you are close to your ceiling with the amount of playtime that you've put in right now.
Mm.
Not doesn't mean that you can't get better. It just means it's going to be pretty slow and I'm not sure that anything beyond plat is going to be feasible with the amount of time that you're putting in. Now, the key thing I want to investigate is I want to find the line between the playtime that you're not putting in because you cannot, and the playtime that you're not putting in because you don't want to. So, for example, you can't put in playtime when you're working, when you're studying, and you can't put in playtime when you're playing, when you want to play with your friends. I know that sounds weird to say that, but I do think that like playing with friends, it's important, right? Like it's important, right?
Yeah.
Right. You want to play with friends. I mean, it's what video games are all about, right? Now, when you can play and you're choosing not to, is when you're like, oh, I'm just going to get frustrated, or when you get tilted during a session and you quit.
Yeah.
And I think those are like the pain points that we want to address, because if you look at your goals here, the easy answer is to hit GM, but I really want to improve in all aspects of the game, right? Of course. I mean, Grandmaster is not even remotely possible with where you are right now, much less, not even Diamond, really, right? Not because you're not talented, but because you just don't enjoy the game that much, right? So what we need to do is we need to find out like what's preventing you from enjoying the game, what's preventing you from being productive with that enjoyment of the game, and then fix that. You fix that.
Right.
So I'm assuming from what you're seeing in your forum here, skimming it here, and from what we said, it's a little bit of mentality. It's definitely playing two roles at once, but it's a little bit of mentality too. So let's start with the rules. Let's start with the easy stuff first, okay? So the first things first, Sojourn, Widow, Tracer, Kiriko, Ana, Idiari. Is that approximately accurate as of today?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Well, with my games that I've been playing more support this patch. But yeah, I've
Why
only
is
got a
that?
few. Just what I queued, because I queued both DPS and support.
Got
so,
it.
yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Sojourn, Widow, Tracer, Kiriko, Ana, Idiari. What's the breakdown approximately? Do you have any estimation of like, is it mostly Sojourn, all even, mostly Kiriko, all even, and so on?
Depends on like different comps, like obviously different play styles as well.
Let's say you play 200 games. What would the breakdown look like approximately?
I'd probably, if I'm playing DPS, I'd probably default to Sojourn, Widow, and then
Okay.
Tracer's like a bit like more niche.
Yep.
And then
Okay.
with support, I've been playing Ana a
Yep.
fair bit since,
She's great.
yeah. And then Kiri used to be my main, but then she kind of got nerfed.
She's pretty good right now. I actually think she's, if anything, maybe even buffed. But, yeah. So Ana, and then sometimes Kiriko. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, finish your thought. Sorry.
Yeah, so I've been playing Ana mostly, and then Kiri's like, I'd say it's like 60-40 in comparison to those, and then
I have a
yeah,
request
Lari
for
a little
you.
bit.
I have a request for you. Take Tracer and EDR behind the dumpster and just chuck them in. Don't play them anymore. At least for the next 3 or 4 weeks. If the hero pool that you're at right now gets a little bit dull and you want to replace, you want to incorporate Tracer in, or you want to incorporate EDR in, then Grandma has to go, or Kiriko has to go, or Widowmaker or Surgeon has to go. I want you to try, if you're going to play 2 roles, I want it to be 2 heroes, if possible. I want us to narrow down your focus if possible. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Not to be condescending, but I really think that that's going to be really impactful for you. Now, Sojourn, Widow, Ana, Kiriko, those are pretty flexible. That's a pretty flexible pool, right? I think, especially since the Sojourn buffs, there's not going to really be any situation where Sojourn or Widow is not going to be at least decent. It's good. They're both going to be fine. And the same thing goes for Ana, Kiriko. There's not going to be a map where Ana and Kiriko are bad, or a composition where Ana and Kiriko are bad. You're going to just have to, there won't be maybe optimal, but it will be good enough. Certainly. So that's taken care of. Do you warm up, or you just jump in and play?
Sometimes I go into practice range, but not too often. Sometimes
Okay.
I just play like a quick play game.
Okay.
Just to,
Okay. I have a request. Are you familiar with Vaxta?
Yes.
I want you to Vaxta for 2 minutes every session. That's all. Whatever, it doesn't matter what character you Vaxta with, Ana, Kiriko, Sojourn, Widow. I honestly don't really care. I just want you to be mechanically alert. There's a timer in Vaxta. You can see it in the top left. Go until that says 2 minutes, 120 seconds, and then quit. And then queue up.
Yeah.
And then when you're in queue, jump into the while you wait deathmatch or rejoin Vaxta and do that again. I don't want you to touch the practice range at all. And I want you to, if possible, do that every single day. It's only 2 minutes. You can do it for 2 minutes. That's the challenge. Fair enough?
Yep.
Okay. I want you to be a little bit more alert, a little bit more warm, and we're going to make it really simple. You don't need to warm up for 15 minutes. You know, it's too long, too boring. Okay. Right. What do you feel coming back from improving? I know. I honestly don't know. I feel like my mechanics and game sense are better than the average person in my rank. Well, you do have first-person shooter experience, which definitely helps.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me being the problem, but whenever I hit tab and see the average person in my game doing worse than me, more deaths, fewer kills, I feel like I don't belong in the rank at all. When I get teammates who pick life over mercy or a tracer that's dying off of repeat, my tank dies 24/7, they get countered by 3 people, and they won't change a mental boom and queue for the next game to lose again. I'm not even throwing, trying to lose, I just can't carry my team all the time. Okay, you suck. You suck.
Yeah.
You suck. You are just as bad, and by you suck, I mean in terms of where you think you are and where you actually are. You don't actually suck. You're, I would say, about average at the game, okay?
Yeah.
But in comparison to where you think you are, you suck. And the game is telling you that over and over and over again, but you're too stupid to see it. And that's normal. I mean, I think you have the self-awareness to be here, which already makes you not as stupid as most players. So congratulations. And I've been here. The thing is, it's like intelligent people fall into this trap because what we do is we always see the things that we do well, and we see the excuses for the mistakes that we make. Because when you make a mistake, you always go, oh, that happened because of, right? And when you see somebody else die, you don't give them that same explanation. You just say, oh, they just died, right? They just died. In fact, I remember a video I made about 2.5 years ago. Well, not about 2.5, about 2 years ago, about why Stye Stunt Winner, because it was one of those games where I felt like I had played really well. I had really, really great stats on tank, and it turns out, looking at the video, that I had just basically been a heal hog the entire game. Like I had like double support pocket almost the entire game. And so then therefore my DPS were getting no support. My supports were not able to take angles. And so we ended up losing the game. And I legitimately had great stats. And I don't think I played poorly, but I didn't play near as well as I had thought. And so I had a sense of entitlement, and then giving a little bit bird's eye view from things. I realized, oh yeah, well, that wasn't as good as I thought it was. But that's hard to do. That's hard to do in the moment. That's okay. Actually, let me rephrase that. That's hard to do in retrospect and the replay viewer. But that's even harder to do in the moment. That's almost impossible to do in the moment because you just can't, right? I mean, I do it on stream. Like part of it's kind of just being silly on stream, you know, playing for content. But like, there are times where I'm legitimately like baffled at my teammates. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you out of your mind? And then I go back and I go, oh, you know. I always, every time I rage on stream, I always try to go back in the replay viewer and provide context. Now, usually it reminds me grumbling about how, I'll take responsibility for that one, you know. And that's usually how it goes, right? But see, you probably don't do that. You may not have the time for it. You may not have the desire for it. And that's why you suck. All right, that's why you suck. At least I'm mostly self-aware that I think I'm only a little bit better than my rank says. You're in the opposite end of the spectrum. So it's your job. You know, even you saying things like pick life over mercy. I have people flaming. I've had people flame my teammates when I was silver gold for picking Anas and Yada because they're too hard for those ranks. Right? Yeah. You need to play an easy character like Life over Mercy, you know, or Tracer is dying off of repeat. I mean, why was she dying off of repeat? You know, or your tank dies 27 because they get counter swapped by 3 people and they won't change. So if they're counter swapping the tank, then they're not counter swapping you. And what heroes counter swap tanks? Bastions, Reapers, right? Or Roadhogs. Guess what? Those characters get farmed by Sojourn, Widow, Ana. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're counter swapping your tank and then opening opportunity for you to like absolutely farm them. And you're too stupid, right? So, and by stupid, I'm being facetious here. You know, not lack of intelligence, but hubris, right? And again, that's something that I very, very much know about. Not only recently, but back in the day when I was your rank, before I took things a little bit more seriously. There was a lot of entitlement, you know. I like to consider myself
Yeah.
a relatively intelligent person, but I was blaming. I felt victimized. You know, I don't know what it is, but we refuse to take responsibility. So let's
Yeah.
fix that. Let's fix that. And I think
Okay.
my final question for you is that the majority of your tilt, or does the tilt come from other sources as well?
Um, well, I'm pretty sure that the day that I filled out that form, I played like 4 games and I lost 2 of them, and I just got so annoyed. But um, probably just like things like during the game that happen that
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, just
Okay.
mental boom.
Okay. Does communication bother you? Are you getting communicated with, or other people communicating disrupt or distract or destroy your mental?
Um, well, I don't really join voice chat.
Okay, good.
But in
Good.
okay, yeah, no, but in the text chat when people type, like I
Ah,
don't
see, that's your
respond.
mistake. That's your mistake. Why are you in text chat when you're not in voice? That's backwards. You should either be in voice or not be in chat at all.
Right,
How many
okay,
calls are productive calls are made in text chat?
not many. But
Right.
yeah, well, I've just got it on, so like I'll see when the message pops up.
So turn it
But
off.
like yeah,
Either be in
yeah,
voice or don't be in chat at all.
mm,
That's my rule, right? I've never seen a productive call in match chat. you know,
yeah,
all I see is fill in the blank diff, constantly. It's just like brain
mm,
dead, brain rot stuff, Maybe it's you actually. Screw you. Okay. Let's look at some gameplay. You done for it?
yeah.
All right, let's look.
All right.
Get the replay
So
thing pulled up here.
I've got mostly support codes. Um,
Sure.
so I've got a Kiriko, I've got an Ana, and Ana Bap.
You tell me what characters you want coaching on, your priority, and we'll take a look at that. Stuff will carry over to the other characters some, but
Mhm.
let's prioritize.
I might choose the Ana one because the
Sure.
Kiriko game I did win, but I feel like the Ana one is more important. So
Sure. It doesn't matter as much if it's a win or a loss. I
yeah.
just want to see the character that you're working on.
Mhm.
Okay. Survasa, what's your priority with Ana? What does a character do that's unique to other supports?
Sleep Dart and Anti Nade.
You just listed their kit though. Any brain rot bronze player could do that.
Mm,
Do better than that. Come on. By the way, great skin choice.
thank you.
What should you
Um,
do? What is the character unique? Where do you provide value?
mm,
So when you say
Giving
sleep dart
them,
and bionade, what does that mean? What do you do with that? Like, how do you
um,
what do you do with that information here?
making it easier for my team to kill people with like Anti Nade, because obviously the other supports can't heal the people
Okay,
that are
so a
anti.
little bit of offensive pressure with anti-nade.
Mhm.
Keep going. Keep thinking.
With sleep, you can sleep enemies so they obviously can't do damage to you.
Yeah.
And you can do
Mm-hmm.
damage to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, it's both offensive and defensive
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah. Sure. I'm with you.
Um,
Keep rolling. You're killing it. What about your weapon?
long range, you can heal and do damage from pretty much anywhere.
Okay. So how does that affect how you position?
Uh, long range
Sure. More longer.
angles, yeah.
Yeah. You can. You can. Should you do damage or should you heal?
Depends on the situation.
Yeah. All right.
Like if your
So
team's full health, then you do damage.
sure. Okay. Let's get rolling. If you have any questions before we get into this.
No.
Okay. Nice use of the nade in terms of offensive value, but in terms of when, how, where, everything else, it sucked. So let's talk about why. In fact, you're going to tell me why. Why does this nade suck? Give me at least 3 reasons why this nade sucks.
When the run pulls off his shield and just blocks it.
Well, but that's a mechanical play. Can you play around that?
Um, Mm,
I'm going to ask you questions you may not know immediately, but it's not because I'm trying to make you feel silly. I want you to think it through.
yeah.
I want you to think it through because I want this is the process of learning.
Um,
Where's that Reinhardt going to
Well,
go? Predict.
we'll just go back behind cover. If
Where?
he gets
Be
to it.
specific. Be specific. Where is this Reinhardt going to go right now? Where is he
He's
moving
just
to?
gonna walk up to point.
Where? He's going to move here?
Yeah.
So then let me ask you again. What should you do? How do you avoid the Reinhardt to block your nade?
Go around right side for an off angle.
You ready for this one? No. Just stand here. Let's watch. 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's your nade. You see? If any on that rotation, now they may walled and Ryan shield, but do you see an angle for a nade here?
Right there.
Right there. Now you're asking, well, wait, that's not an angle, really? Like it's still within the shield. But let me ask you a question. What does the Reinhardt want to do right now?
Swing or pin.
Why?
Hamster.
Why? Because Iris there, right? There's a fight happening. So then the opportunity for a nade is higher when there's a fight happening because there's less reason for the Reinhardt to use the shield. You got it?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that I disagree with this angle here. I think this is really, really clever of you. This is great. But you don't even have to think of it that way. See, this is the problem is your nade's getting blocked because when you use the nade was the problem.
Yeah.
One other problem I want to point out as well, it's not just, where or when, but how you use the nade. Is there any aiming here at all?
Not really.
You kind of see what I'm saying? You just threw it, right? Like there wasn't any sort of deliberation or who's even there? Like you don't even know what's going on, right? I don't like that. You must fix it. You have to, if you want to improve your mechanics with nade, you have to be deliberate with where you're aiming. If you miss it, but you tried, I don't care. That's it. Okay? Now that being said, I really respect this rotation. It might be a little close, so you need to be careful with your sleep dart here. Good. Now let's get that nade. Where could you nade here?
Just in the middle of point.
In the middle of point? I don't like that answer. Be specific. I want to ask you, who should you nade here?
The Ryan.
Sure. Who else?
Junk.
Who else?
May.
Which one of those 3 targets is better?
Probably the junk because my Pharah and
Sure.
Junk are also staring.
Sure. But you ready for a really, really, really important answer for you? It doesn't matter, really.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. If you nade May, what does she do?
Ice block.
Is that useful for your team right now? Think carefully. What is she doing when she's ice blocked?
Healing. And also not
nothing.
doing damage.
And not doing damage, right? What about the nade on the Rhine? Obvious answer. What about the nade on the Junkrat? Obvious answer. See, when you nade, you're not necessarily looking to secure kills. You're just putting out pressure and forcing a response that takes pressure off of your team or directly leads to kills or indirectly leads to kills. The answer here is that because we have 3 targets that are engaged, I don't care who you nade here. In fact, I might even nade the May just because it's the easiest one. I know she won't block it with shield, and I know that I'm going to hit it. So you know what? Don't overthink it. Just use it. Now, the good news is that if you did try to nade Reinhardt here, there's a fairly decent chance you'll hit it. Because, again, when are you nading? Is this Rhine swinging?
Yeah.
The fight's happening, so nade the Rhine. There's so many options here. I have high expectations on this nade. Too late. Too late. Use it immediately. Use it immediately. You want to keep your Orisa up? Nade the Rhine. Nade the Rhine. Because that's going to splash on your Orisa. That's going to hit the Rhine. And when Rhine's naded, is Rhine going to keep swinging? Absolutely not.
No.
If we need a naded May, is she going to keep spraying? Absolutely not. So you want to keep your Orisa up? Offensively nade. That being said, you did use it. You angled on it. And you're going to win the fight off of that. Even the sleep dart on the Reinhardt was really good because it was when he was swinging because there was a fight going. So angle, CD usage, nice job. Not perfect, and that's what we're critiquing, but you should feel really good about that fight. That was really well done.
Yeah.
Oh, they're counter swapping your tank. They're going Bastion.
Bastion.
Oh yeah, I love counter swapping. I won't even say in low ranks because this happened in my game just yesterday, and I'm like low masters, and it's just silly. It's just silly. Now let's talk about the sleep dart because it's atrocious. Who cares if somebody slept there, right? Nobody cares. You see what I'm saying? Again, it's when the CD is used. It's not just who. Should you save it for Juno or Mercy or Ryan or Bastion? It doesn't matter. Just use it when there's actually something that's happening. There's nothing happening there. If you sleep dart, you can't kill that target. Save it.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, I'll go as far to say that nade's bad too for the same reason, right? I don't think it's a terrible nade. It's just wait, right? Wait. Think about it, right? When is the nade useful, right?
Not really. I mean, it stops them from like pushing for a second, but
Right.
So,
But you know
yeah.
that's not enough, not for 11 or 12
Yeah.
second cooldown, right? So just let them
Yeah.
engage. Nade as soon as an engagement happens, whether that's a dive or they're poking heavily or they're peeking heavily. You see, a nade even now wouldn't be bad because they're not like pushing, but they're committing. Like this is a commitment right here, right? There's a commitment. So this is when you want nade. So it's just not good enough, right? I think your positioning is pretty okay. Nade. So what I would describe is that, again, the intention, the timing of this is like halfway okay. But with both the sleep dart and the nade, it's just panic. You just panic, Your mechanics are not that bad, right? Just relax.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're okay. You're all right. That being said, I think this rotation's pretty good. You kept your cover. You rotated to maintain distance. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay, let's keep going. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so we're looking at when and how, not so much where. We're not really concerned with where you're nading or where you're sleeping. It's just not that important. The value is all that really matters. Sure? Pop it. Now, if you want to nade now and think that you'll have the nade by the time they get to point again, that's okay with me. I don't think it's necessary. But see, that nade is, not huge, but it's infinitely more useful because the fight is starting right now and the Reinhardt can't go in, right? He can't. So he's walking, but you know what? He's still alone. He's still down. Think about it this way. This is the way to think about it. You have done 300 damage to that Reinhardt with that nade is the way to look at it, right? Because every little bit of tickle damage that he took prior to that just was permanent. It just didn't go away. And not only that, but he had to have the Mercy, stuck to his cheeks this entire time instead of actually helping these supports here. So if these guys die, it's your fault. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, she died. Okay, that's you. You did that. Nice job. And this is an amazing nano. Why? What's the rule with cooldowns? When do you use them and where do you use them?
You use it both offensively and defensively.
Right. But what have we been talking about, right? Where do you use them? The Mei, the Junk, the Ryan, remember?
You just use them in the middle of the fight.
Right. And anybody that's engaged, anybody that you can hit, it doesn't matter. Okay? When do you use them?
While the fight's going on.
Yeah, as soon as the fight starts, look for him, right? You might save a sleep dart for a wrecking ball or something like that, right? But even that's with the intention to kill him, right? It's not just because to put him out of sleep, like you want to hurt him. So right now, that same logic applies to Nano Boost. Who do you nano? When do you nano? It doesn't matter who you nano. You can nano Juno. You can nano, not always, but there are situations where it's appropriate to nano a Lucio or nano a Mercy even. The question is that person engaged? Whether somebody's being dove on them or they're diving on somebody else, and are they in a position to fight? And I think, is this fight going on? And the answer is clearly yes. So this isn't like, you don't even need to like super strategize, like who's nanoing and when to nano. I know this nano is going to get a lot of value. I just know it. Like I know it. So let's watch. Let's enjoy it. Yeah, look at that. So much value, right? She's
She's destroying, right? Now the question is why aren't you winning? Let's find out. He should have died. I'm going to be honest with you. This is just mechanics. You just screwed it up. You screwed it up.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was really close. It was really close. I think the nade was very reasonable. The shots were reasonable. This sleep dart also very reasonable. You just mess it up. I actually think that you played... I'm going to be honest with you. I've coached hundreds of gold Anas, right, over the years. And this was pretty good for gold Ana. Like, I think that the nade was all right. The sleep dart missing at the start was kind of unfortunate, and you didn't hit the CDs at the end. But, you know, they committed a lot here. They're Shatter, they're Juno. You know, you lost somebody early. This was a fine fight from you. You could look at this and be like, you know, that fight's my responsibility. I messed it up. But you shouldn't feel like, oh, I really threw it. No, I think you gave it a good go. You just needed to be a little bit better. That's all. The most encouraging thing to me is that your strategy there was good. Your initial positioning, your sideline was good. Your CD usage was good. Your ult usage, also good. If all you do is you fumble mechanically, the rule is that that's okay. You didn't know they were in Sombra, did you?
Well, I just mind blanked. I just didn't remember.
That's okay. That's okay. It happens. Don't worry about it. So now, when we talk about saving CDs for Sombra, why? Is it to keep ourselves alive or is it to kill Sombra?
Both.
Both, right? Don't be a coward. When Sombra comes at you, there's a risk. Killer. Murderer. Put her. Now, when do you not save CDs for Sombra?
When she's dead or focusing on someone else.
You got it. That's it. That's the rule not just for Sombra, but for Tracer, for Genji, for Winston, for Wrecking Ball, and so on. You understand?
Yeah.
Like right now, I hear her weapon a million miles away. So if you see an opportunity for a sleep dart nade, don't hesitate to use it. Now you don't know where she is, so this nade is fine, but you might want to save your sleep dart because... Right?
She's right there.
She's right there. I had no idea, but you could predict it. You know, you could predict it, right? Now, what do you think about the timing of this nade?
Not great.
Not great. If you were going to nade anybody who's engaged, who would be naded right now?
Wait, the junk?
You got it. There's only one person engaged right now, and you naded the wrong person.
Yeah.
Now you're shooting the junk, so that's good. Get her. Good try. So, would a better nade there have saved that fight? The answer is no. I don't. No, it wouldn't matter. You guys lose. GG's.
Okay.
But my point being is that it don't worry so much about what would have won that fight or would have lost that fight. In the same way that where you misplayed the previous fight, but you did fine. Your strategy was good. Good. I don't care about what wins fights. I care about what wins 20, 30, 50, 60, 100 games, right? Long trends. We're looking for habits that might not win this particular Suruvasa, but will win all the other Suruvasas that you play. You understand?
Yeah.
We want to make you a better player, and then the wins will happen. We don't care about what would have won this game. That's all that I care about. Run. Like, for example, run. Okay, good. You got it. Good sleep. Good sleep. Good sleep.
Thank you.
Very nice sleep. All right. Sightline. Don't do this. Because remember, even if this hits, what does it matter? Think about it, right? It doesn't. Nothing's happening, right? Like, don't. Unless you're looking for some ult charge between fights, which this is too close to an actual fight, right? You have 12 seconds of no nade now. There's no point in just throwing it, right?
Yeah.
Because now you might want a nade. There's a fight going on, but you don't have it. She's full HP. Stop healing her. Do damage.
Okay.
Like, let me put it this way. If you had been a little better, I think...
Could have broke that.
Yeah, you could have. I mean, you actually hit the shot, right? You just hit it too late, right? You need to hit 2 shots.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's all right. This is the moment of truth right here. This is where the fight is won or lost.
I'm here. Keep fighting. Helping you out.
He wasn't swinging yet. Right?
Yeah.
He wasn't swinging it. It wasn't a terrible nade, because I think it was fairly reasonable for him to swing there. But he didn't. He wasn't swinging it. So then, therefore, this nade is Not going to work.
Good try with the sleep dart, but did you notice what you did with the sleep dart? Watch carefully. Watch your mechanics.
Overflick.
Feels a little panicky, you know? Relax.
Yeah.
It was actually ended up being pretty accurate, right? It almost hit, but it almost feels like that was an accident more than anything else. Now, what should you do right now? Obvious answer, right?
Nano.
Nano. Why?
Because it's the middle of a fight.
Because she's engaged
And she's
and the fight's
on her,
happening.
yeah.
Use it. As soon as she gets pushed, use it. Do it. Sure. Good stuff, but the nade?
You're powered up. Get in there.
Where should the nade have gone?
Towards the middle of them, where the
Towards
Juno
the
is.
towards the Juno. Why? Because you're like, the Ryan's engaged, right? So why would I go for the Juno Junkrat?
Um,
We haven't talked about this as much. It's just, you ready for this? The answer is simple. It's 2 instead of 1. That's all. 2 targets.
just
Instead
rather
of one.
hit everyone else. Yeah,
That being said,
fair.
is this a bad nade in terms of timing? No.
No.
No. In fact, I think the intention of this nade is totally fine. Should be pleased with that. Unfortunately, it didn't end up working out, but that's okay. Now, again, you're flicking the sleep dart. You see that? It's not that flicking is bad when you need to, but they're just walking out of a choke, and you're pretending like you've got a Genji dashing on you, like flicking. He's just there. You don't have to really do anything crazy. I think that, I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this feels like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Just relax. Just relax. Put the sleep dart on the Rhine and sleep the Rhine. Because you know what? The timing of the sleep dart is perfect. Why?
Shield's down.
Why is the
And
shield down?
They're engaging with the.
They're
Juno.
engaging. You know it, right? It's the same reason why the nano was good. It's the reason why the sleep dart was good. You just missed it. So again, we're at a point in time where the strategy feels pretty good. Nade that. Good. Huge nade. Huge nade. Huge nade. Excellent job. Fight was happening. Just use the nade. And the key thing here is that you didn't wait and sit and heal bot your Venture the entire time. I mean, honestly, you may be a little bit too much here. Like, I would have naded right away. But at least it was a little bit faster previous, right? Like that nade, that's it. That's all you needed. And now this fight is probably lost. But if it's winnable, it's off of your back. Because you've popped off here. Oh, your Venture fumbled. Your Venture fumbled it. No, that's your... That's... Oh, they're
Oh, it's
reloading. Ay, ay, ay. But you know what? Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. No, not the right. It's
hit all.
squishies. You can hit all right. This is where I think
Yeah.
people get a little bit too locked into the tank. Now, often, why is the tank the one that gets naded more frequently? The general rule.
Target.
He's an easy target, right? He's engaged.
Yeah.
But the problem is that he's not an easy target anymore, at least in comparison to the rest of his team. They're all easy targets, right?
Yeah.
So usually what you'll have is like the backline will be here and then the Rhine is here. So yeah, just nade the Rhine, right? But it's everyone's engaged here. So this is 3-man nade. I'm gonna be honest with you. You win this fight. I actually think you can win this 2v4 if you hit this nade. Because you're gonna kill the Mercy. You're gonna get these guys low. Your Venture's gonna come out of burrow here and it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Wait,
feel like
maybe,
it
maybe. You're gonna have some help here in a second. Yes. Great sleep dart. Great sleep dart. And you might live this here. Good nade. Good. I think the Summer's right on top of you. Yeah. Again, this is like we're this close to greatness. You should be very proud of this. This is good. Go sleep. 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 Go. Get that nade. Get that nade. Get that nade. Get that nade. Nice. Yep. Not quite perfectly placed, but close enough. And the fight is starting, so this will get value. Because let me ask you a question. What do you think that Junkrat's doing right now? Let's watch. Okay, he's just dumb, so he doesn't care. I guess Junkrat mains are just unhinged. But you know what you should have done here? Instead of going back and healing everybody to full, mate, you hit a nade. Look for an opportunity to get a shot here, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right, you know. But I think the nade was good. You just need to do something with it. Good. Again, the sleep. Well done. Good healing here. I think you said something earlier, which I didn't talk about as much, but I guess it's worth talking about as now.
Yeah.
Which is you were like heal everybody to full, then do no. You got to ask yourself: you do 75 damage, you do 75 healing. Which is more appropriate right now? Right?
35 damage.
Somebody's critical, probably the healing. Somebody's not critical, probably the damage, especially if you got a squishy who's naded, right? That's probably a kill. It's a legitimate kind of balance that you have to kind of find in your head. And so we want to look for tendencies. Most people have a tendency to heal a little bit, too much. And I think that we're seeing that from you, just a little bit. And by the way, don't worry about this mess on the left. The fact that you were here was the correct play. You healed your soldier. But again, it's the right play,
Yeah.
right? It's the right play. It's okay. This is also going to be the right play. And there you go. You see? And you're about to nano. Honestly, you can nano anybody here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Good. But be careful. You're a little low here. Let's see that nade. Let's see that nade. Get her. Get her. Get her. Get her. Get her. Yes. Yes. Get her. Get her. Yeah! See? I knew you'd come in clutch. See, this is the thing. You keep doing stupid mechanics, but with good strategy, eventually it's going to work. Eventually it's going to work. Sleep it. Sleep it. Yes! Yes, you're the greatest. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. The rip tire effect. Ah, that's unfortunate. That's all right. That was 3 ults from them simultaneously. You could just die in point here if you want. I don't think you're going to get out. Maybe?
I'll get out.
I guess, yeah, I guess you're right. Okay. So, frankly, the strategy is there, but inconsistent. And that's what we're putting a little bit of our emphasis on. But the mechanics as well are abandoning you because you're panicking just a wee little bit. That's the nature of being a grandma in the heat of war, excuse me. It's going to be panicking. It's going to be loud. It's going to be insane. There's a lot of pressure on you to hit your shots, your nades, and your sleep darts, all while trying to position around cover. But so far, all you need to do is just relax and practice, and you'll be fine. This, you keep doing it over and over again, your mechanics will catch up. You'll get there. You'll get there.
Right.
Excellent. Excellent. Another situation where I wonder if the nade behind him on the rat would have been better. But the timing, the cooldowns, the position here, also really good. Now you do have to be careful because you're about to be hacked. So just remember, Sombra, I don't have CDs. So if you don't have CDs, how do you play? Because you use your CDs offensively. That was not a mistake. But what do you do now?
Play with the team.
Or just simply be a little more smarter with your cover. Like, think about it. If I'm Sombra, do I want to be here? Do I want to be here? Maybe you can kind of jiggle a little bit, kind of bait. Like, I mean, seriously, like play mind games. Like play, rotate to here and then push up to here under stand right next to the mini health pack. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she viruses and you just grab the mini and start from scratch, right? So there's all sorts of little mind games you can do. Oh, you're making her look stupid. I mean, heck, you could even chase her. Honestly, you could chase her. She didn't translocate far. It's not bad that you didn't, but just something to consider. Woo! Get her.
Ring a ring Tracy. I think Gina gets her. Yeah.
Nice, nicely done. Nice done. Okay. Even versus high-level Sombras, like using your CDs offensively is not a mistake. You just have to understand how that changes the dynamic and how you position.
Yeah.
Where is she? Okay, I don't know where she is, so I play accordingly.
Yeah.
Good try, and he's dead. Well done. Where's that Sombra? She's looking for EMP. I guarantee she's like here. Yeah, okay, she's there, yeah. She's thinking about it. Oh, you're thinking about it too. Okay. Good try. Or good nade, but the only thing with this nade is what?
Not really in the middle of a fight.
Right. The question is this how would you make this work? What should you do right now? There's no follow-up to this nade. So you know what you need to do?
Yeah.
You be the follow-up to this nade.
Right.
So you do the damage here. So you're thinking, okay, there's nothing happening right now because there's somebody in spawn. Okay, then nade and start shooting. Maybe don't use your sleep dart just in case they push you, but nade and start shooting. You be the follow-up. Like, don't just rotate away because there's nobody going to follow up off of that. You might also, by the way... No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was scared the Ryan was just going to pin up and just...
But you have sleep dart. You have sleep dart for that, right? Your sleep dart is your insurance. You might look at that and be like, I can use that nade because I'll have it back by the time the fight starts. That might be true as well. So
Yeah,
I'm not too upset. I'm not too upset about that nade. You'll have it when you need it, like now, right?
That's kind of like how my mentality with nade was. Like, I would
Yeah.
like use it and then have it back by the time.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Good nade, by the
Yeah.
way. Again, good nade again.
I'd rather
Just
not hold it and
as
like, not
long,
use it.
right? As long as the engagement is committed, or you will have it by the time the engagement is committed, it's fine. By the way, I actually respect the discipline on the Nano here because you see the Orisa ult, you see the Juno ult.
Yeah.
I think if anything, if for example, if that Orisa ult or that Juno ult didn't get a kill by now you Nano. You know, it's good to layer the ultimates, not stack, right? You understand the difference in that, correct?
Yeah.
So like as that beat expires,
And I would nano after.
right, you Nano after they've used all the cooldowns and they've used the ultimate and so on. What?
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Oh yeah. It happens. You are a little lost in the sauce, I'm not gonna lie here. You are a little
Yeah,
close to their spawn.
This bit is not great.
Do you notice something? I noticed something. When the sleeps are easy, you'd miss them, but when they're hard, you hit them. I think it's just like you're like, I have to hit this, otherwise, you know, it's over. So then, like, you just lock in, but just run away.
This bit.
Yeah. I would definitely not be scoped either, because it just makes it easier to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
I trolled that.
You were just too close to their spawn, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
My position.
You guys do get cap. You're gonna need Nano most likely here. Where should you rotate to if you have time? And you do.
High ground.
High ground, top right, you got it. You can also go
Yeah.
left here as well. This is really good here. Gives you guys a little angle. But yeah. Problem here is you just can't see anything, you know?
Yeah.
Good sleep. You just rushed it. That's it. You see that unnecessary flick again? You see that?
Yeah.
It's the easy ones that you flick. You know, it's not that flicking is bad. Flicking is a normal thing of hit scan. That's just what you do. It's the last second adjustment. But you're making last second adjustments on characters that are not moving, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, Nano. Good nade. Good Nano. Obviously, could have been a little closer to cover here. That's kind of why I like that high ground there. But again, the Nano's good. Nade was good. Sleep dart was good in terms of the timing. Just get her. Get her. It's okay. Oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
All right, it's just dying point. This is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe, but actually the chance of this getting blocked are fairly high. Why?
It's so far away.
Right, it's so far away, and also,
Yeah.
where's the engagement? You know, it's kind of starting, but like you need more than that when you're playing versus a Reinhardt, right? So there's a chance. Okay, it does hit, but you're fortunate, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that actually almost hit the Lucio. I think you're aiming it for Ryan.
No way. I would say Justin.
You almost Ajaxed him with a sleep dart. That would have been sick. I've only done that once, I think.
I did not even notice that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate a lot of what you're doing right now. I think in general you need to be. I think here's the way I'd sum it. Here's the way I'd sum it up for you. I think you're just kind of mid at everything.
Yeah.
Your cover usage isn't perfect. Sometimes you don't really think as much about your positioning as you ought to. You flick your sleep darts, rush your sleep darts, and sometimes time them poorly. You rush your nades and sometimes time them poorly. You don't always, sometimes prioritize the right targets with nade. You tend to go for frontline instead of backline. I think the only thing that's truly good for you is your nanos. I think your nanos are great. When you're using your nanos, even who you're using your nanos on, it's totally fine, no problems. The good news is that you're not really bad at anything either. Right?
Yeah.
I know it's insulting to be like, oh, you're not good at anything, but I mean, that's legitimately also a compliment as well, right? Like you're just kind of like okay at everything. The problem is that all those little things are adding up. Now, this could be a bad or a good thing. Having one really strong weakness can be difficult because it takes a lot of pressure and practice to get rid of it, right? Like a jumping habit, for example, right? Or I just forget about cover, or, you know, but a bunch of little things can be a little bit overwhelming, but it doesn't mean that It could be a little bit less work to fix a lot of these things. For example, your nades are not bad. They're just not. They just need adjustments, right? When you're using them and how you're setting them up and relaxing. And so we need to practice those things. Now, we have about 10 more minutes here. Would you like to look at a little bit more code of a different hero, or do you want to go through questions? What would you like to do?
I think we can look at this. I've got a Sage on.
Okay,
Code, yeah.
let's do it.
we grab this.
Before we move on to Sojourn, let's take some quick notes with Anna. What are some things to practice as quickly as you can and as simply as you can?
So nades and sleep dart.
Nade and sleep
so-
dart with what? What needs to be practiced with both?
So when and where.
When is when?
Um,
What is the answer for when?
so when is when a fight is engaged. So when the
Mm-hmm.
enemy team and my team are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Where generally try and get as many people as possible.
I will say just whoever's aggressing. Just whoever's aggressing, right? I think the reason why when we asked like 2 is better than 1, that was only because those people were also aggressing at the same time. That's it.
Right.
That's it. Just
Okay.
yeah, I wouldn't overthink. And maybe that's like level 2 for you right now. Maybe that's not something to worry about right now. I probably prefer for you just to worry about when and where aggression and when the fight started. Let's just start with that. Okay. What else?
Okay.
What about your positioning?
Be careful about where Sombra is.
That's too vague. It's too vague. Because how many times are you going to play versus Sombra? 10% of your games? 15%?
true.
Lame.
Or just flankers in general. If I don't have my cooldowns, play differently to when I do have my cooldowns.
Sure. Discipline with cover. Adjust how you play depending on CDs. That's good enough for me. Okay. What else?
When to heal, when to do damage.
Okay. When to heal. Damage. Heal out of crit. Look for pressure. Be aware of small tendency to prioritize healing too much. Just a small tendency. You're not like you're a heal bot by any means.
Yeah.
Nanos
Makes sense,
were
yeah.
great. Perfect. Timing. Keep up the good work. I have no feedback beyond that. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Let's look at some Sojourn.
I think I start on Widow, but then I swap to Sage on.
Yeah, you can skip ahead.
We're in this together.
Doomfist, I imagine.
All of us.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll do it. Careful. We're going to zoom right into it. Sojourn, you have the mobility options, so you can take angles that other people cannot take. This is an ego duel. You should not take it. When do you take a duel with Widow?
When she's getting like dived by someone else. or
Yeah,
if they're
sure.
doing starving, yeah.
Sure. When else?
When she's not looking.
Okay, when else?
When she's low.
Okay, and let's think about your... So you're thinking about her status. What about your status?
Hmm.
What if you have rail?
Yeah.
It's not a one shot, but it's pretty darn near close to for a 200 HP target, right? A couple of bullets and she's gone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the proximity? What about your positioning?
Too far away.
Too far away, right? Like you could destroy her in short to even medium ranges, right? This is stupid. She's not being dove. You're low. You don't have rail, and she's far away. You should lose that. Don't ego that. Ego is when you look at a situation when you have a disadvantage and choose to take it anyway. That's ego.
Yeah.
Your advantage is your mobility. Your advantage is not taking a long range sniper duel versus a Widow without rail. Your advantage is the fact that you can hold a really stupid angle like this and get away with it, right?
Yeah.
This is, right? That's your advantage.
Better luck next time.
Widow can't do this. You can.
Yeah.
So you could see your value triples the second you stop peeking Widow. And ironically, your risk goes down as well, despite its auxiliary position. Play your mobility. Play an angle. Have your shift. Know where you're going to disengage to when things get hairy. And yeah. This is stupid. She has sights.
Yeah.
This is still too far. Now, at least you have Widow. Or Widow, I say. At least you had Rail. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that works out.
Right.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is hubris. When you see this, you've done your job. You forced a committal. You're forcing resources this way. What should you do at this point in time?
Slide out.
Slide out, right? Slide back this direction, take an angle this way. You've done your job by making them putting them out of position to chase you. Just don't stay here.
Yeah. Okay.
I look at that and I'm like, oh, it worked, but no, we're not results based, right? That should have not worked, and it will not work.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? Contesting a Hanzo? Are you silly? What do you think?
Hello.
40 charge. He doesn't know where you are. This is effective range for you. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. He can't even one-shot you anymore. This is cool.
Yeah, it's not
You
really
hit,
looking at me.
you hit this rail right here, you're cooking. The only problem is that you've actually pressed W. So then if he hits the shot here, you can't really disengage. You notice that?
Right. Yeah.
So it's not the duel itself, it's how you took the duel that was poor. And not even the initial start. The initial start was great. It was good. Play to your advantages. You could beat any character in a 1v1. I don't care who it is. Just play smart. Play to your advantages. That's it. And right now, I think a lot of your positioning is what I would describe as proactive, but chaotic. You kind of see what I'm saying? It's chaotic. You're sometimes doing the right things, but there's no strategy. It's just total chaos. You're just sniffing blood and just going, right? I want you to be proactive and calculated. I want you to be here, but be ready to slide out. I want you to zoom up here and then drop to cover. I like exactly what you're doing, but not how you're doing it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
You need to be a cold-blooded egomaniac, but you need to be cold-blooded. Okay. Like right now, you still have slide. You have your ult. What should you do?
Taking off angle.
Take it off angle? Is this silly? Is this stupid?
Yes.
Okay, what would you do differently then?
Probably go onto the bridge the other way.
Like this way?
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, this is just as bad, right? There's nothing... Okay, so you ready for this? You want to know why this feels bad? I'm going to have you predict what's going on behind you. Can you tell me what's going on behind you?
Things
see?
still running in. Yeah.
What are you doing? It's not where you're going, but when. You understand? You need your doom.
Yeah.
You need your honor. That's why this feels so stressful.
Right.
If you did this now we're cooking. In fact, I have a lot more confidence that this is going to work because you see what's happening, right? You're a team player now. I want you to be aware of when I'm taking my angles, okay, and where am I taking, and where's my disengage route. See, this will work. This is going to work. It might not get a lot of kills, but this is going to work because when you're doing it matters so much more. Now you got a headshot by Hanzo, but I don't care. The strategy was good. And you guys might still win this fight because it forced a response. It cleared cool space. It forced CDs. It put people out of position. Your team's going to get high ground. Your team actually has an advantage in this duel because of your role. So I'm fine with this. I just want that to be timed better, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
smart angles and knowing your disengage. Time pressure with your tank distracting. You might have a passive tank, but at least he'll stand there and absorb damage, right? He'll hold shield or something, right? Okay. Any questions?
Yeah. So that bit where my team was still walking in, and I was on the stairs.
Yes.
Would I just sit and wait, or just like sit further back and like just keep shooting
Sure.
it?
You could
further?
build rail. You just can't risk your life while you're building it.
Right.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So,
Okay.
you know, if you can build rail passively without committing to an engage or getting your CDs forced, it's okay with me. But if you get your CDs forced or you die, it's your fault. I don't even want your slide forced because I need your slide. I need your slide either slide in or to actually push in 3 seconds. That's the rule.
Right.
That's the rule. Same rule with Ana as well. Okay. Any other questions?
Not that I can